Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show, People of Distinction. The talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com for more info. Email me through benji@alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcasts. People of Distinction is internationally syndicated solely due to the love and support that you all continue to give. We're available across all major distributors, and as long as you keep following, we're going to continue to put out the content. Now sit back and strap in, because on the line with us today, we have the impressive Deborah Sullivan. And we're going to be discussing Deborah's amazing book, Yes, I Can, Book 1, available for purchase through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and a whole host of other places. I mean it. Type it into a search bar and you're going to be greeted with all of them. And while you're at it, check out Deborah's other book, Who Knew About Two? And then check back in frequently, because Deborah is not finished yet. She has another book called My Friend Sam, still in creation, so it's not available for purchase just yet. But you're going to want to check back in frequently and get that one the moment it becomes available. And I quickly want to point out the fact that Deborah was brought to us by one of the best firms in the business, Citi of Books. So for my writers out there who have gone through their process and now you need help moving the book you just developed, well, look no further than Citi of Books, people, because this is exactly what they specialize in. Head on over to cityofbooks.com today and gather all the ways that their fantastic team is going to help you do just that. And people, listen, it is an absolute pleasure to have Deborah here on the line. Her book, Yes, I Can, is a heartwarming children's book about a small girl with big dreams and even bigger determination to prove she's capable of anything. This is a book that is going to inspire our little ones and some of those parents out there listening in as well. I'm telling you, there's a message here to be found that can benefit every single one of us. So sit back and strap in, because we're going to have a full-out conversation with Deborah and really discover what sparked the inspiration to the creation of this character who defies expectations. People, whether you're a parent, an educator, or just a fan of unforgettable stories, you're not going to want to miss this book about believing in yourself, no matter how small you may seem. This book is packed with wisdom and something that we can all get behind. Deborah, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you very much for being a guest. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you for having me. I'm doing well, thank you.
Fantastic. Well, listen, we're thoroughly looking forward to this, Deborah. As I mentioned to you on the pre-screening call, as a parent myself, this is a book right up my alley. I get it. I understand the world that my little children are embarking upon and learning to grow within. And this is going to be something that they're going to have to tackle. They're going to have to build that self-confidence in to really be able to stand on their own. And although we're very far away from them needing to do that, it's never too early to begin. Mm-hmm. So we're looking forward to this discussion. First and foremost, tell us a little bit more about yourself and your background.
Well, I'm definitely a child of the 70s and spent most of my childhood outside or at the beach. Mm-hmm. And I went to college I went for psychology. Mm-hmm. And then I looked at teaching, and that drew me in. And I said, let me try this. So I ended up getting a bachelor's degree in elementary education and in exceptional child psychology. And then I went on to get my master's in special education. So I retired in 2017, but I spent 32 years teaching elementary school. 16 years was sixth grade, and then I requested a change and did 16 years in kindergarten. And along the way, met my husband, and we have 3 beautiful boys. And then we came to a point where we decided to co-parent. So we did that, and that worked out. And unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but he was, a great dad. And it was hard. And in 1999, I met my current wife, Barbara, and we've been together ever since. And together we have 6 children and 6 grandchildren.
There you have it. A lot of love. Beautifully large family. Deborah, nothing but continued success to you and all of your loved ones. That is amazing. And again, thank you very much for joining us. I do want to also quickly point out a special thanks and congratulations to you as an educator because, listen, can I just take a moment here, people? You understand where I'm going. I've mentioned this a number of times in the past. I had a very brief stint in education myself. I know a lot of educators in my inner circle, whether it's family or friends. And my goodness, man, educators never get the amount of credit that they deserve for how many hats they have to wear. And they damn sure don't get paid enough, Deborah. So I'm going to thank you for everything that you've done, whether it's in the classroom or out. Shaping the minds of future generations is something that is so crucial and something that is very poorly recognized, in my opinion. Because again, you may be hired to teach history or to teach math, but any educator understands at any given moment, man, you're going to have to be a referee, you're going to have to be a psychologist, you're going to have to be a nurse.
Yeah.
Whew. Oh, my goodness, it's never ending.
Yes, you do wear many hats. You definitely wear many hats. And especially when I was teaching kindergarten, I can't tell you how many times I was called mom.
Well, for those hours, that's exactly what you were, Deborah. You were their mother. I never was brave enough to go that young. I taught as early as fourth grade, and even, my fourth graders, man, I loved them, but they were a handful. My goodness.
Handful,
Absolutely. Right. The best little handful ever, though. You know, I loved them. They were fantastic when I had them. So, Deborah, without further ado, this is all about your amazing book, Yes, I Can. Let's start off with learning a little bit more about the narrative itself.
Okay, so the book follows a young girl. She's going to be 8 years old, and her stature is the size of a 4-year-old. So there are a lot of times she attempts to do something, whether it be read a book or whether it be at the park or whatever she is attempting to do, and people are sort of condescending to her and that, when you grow up, you'll be able to do those things. And her initial reaction is to be angry and come back at them sort of with a short answer, I can do this. And, the adults are a little taken aback. And then she decides, okay, this is not really working, reacting in that way. And then she decides to come up with a plan to really demonstrate the things that she can do by herself. And Yes, I Can is not only to tell others she's able to do things on her own, it's also for herself to show herself that I can do this, even though I'm small in stature for my age, I can do this. That's no, that's okay. That's that is the premise of the book. That's the.
So, Deborah, let's talk about inspiration here for a second, because, listen, as amazing as the book is, and as the themes behind it is definitely something that I can get behind, and I know a lot of my listening audience can as well. So, just for writing a beneficial narrative in this way is great. Now, I'm curious about what inspired you to write it and embark upon this journey. Does it have a personal connection to you and your background?
Well, the personal connection, I would have to say, not only watching my own 3 boys growing up, but really the inspiration for writing the book was teaching the kindergartners, because the kindergartners come in, some of them are 4 years old. And then by the time they leave, some of them are like 5 going on 6 and whatnot. And just watching how they progress through things, you really see that some kids are not ready to do certain things, and some kids are well ready to do things. Yeah. And they all will come to the point where they can do what you're asking them to do, at different points. And you don't want those who can to not have confidence in themselves to go further, and you don't want those who are not ready to feel less. And that was really the motivation for me writing the story.
Perfect. People, again, the book is called Yes, I Can, Book 1. Remember, in addition to that, she has another one called Who Knew About 2, followed by My Friend Sam. Now, My Friend Sam, still in creation, not available for purchase just yet, but check back into Amazon, Barnes & Noble frequently to gather all of these books, and especially My Friend Sam, the moment it becomes available. Deborah, my follow-up question now that I want to go into, I'm curious, throughout this writing process, What would you
Yeah.
say was one of the more challenging aspects that you came across?
I think the most challenging aspect is to communicate what was in my head and put it in a format for young people to understand and for them to be able to relate to. I think that was the most challenging part.
Yeah.
And once I was able to do that, then, I had to kind of bring myself down to the level of an elementary school child and think, okay, this is what they're thinking, and I want to communicate so they can understand and put it in their language.
Well, the opposite side of that coin. So we talked about what was the more challenging part. What would you say was a highlight for you?
Well, the highlight was definitely finishing it and then reading it over. And, I gave some of the copies I got to friends and, having the reaction that they had, a positive reaction that they had, and saying, this is a great message. The message that I wanted to convey in the book really came through. So I think that was the most gratifying part of writing the book.
There you have it. Well, listen, as we start to close out of here, Deborah, you have 2 other books. Now, I want to give you an opportunity and go into one of them. And nobody knows the books as well as you, so please choose either My Friend Sam or Who Knew About Two. Give us a brief synopsis and what to expect when we pick it up.
Oh, sure. Well, I will talk about My Friend Sam because it's book 2 to Yes, I Can. So My Friend Sam follows the friendship of a child with autism on the spectrum, and a non-autistic child, a child that's not on the spectrum, and how they learn to communicate with each other and build a bond and a friendship. And yes, that's My Friend Sam. And it's just a beautiful friendship that they create with each other, even though one child is really nonverbal and the other child is quite verbal, but they communicate with each other. And they like I said, they build this lovely friendship.
People, you can recognize through the writing, Deborah is an educator through and through, man. Honestly, whether she's in the classroom or out, the education doesn't stop. And we recognize that fingerprint all throughout her books. Who Knew About Two is right up there with that as well. People, I'm telling you, you know where you gotta go. Whether you're a parent or not, these are wonderfully educational and great messages. Wonderful gifts for you to add to someone else's shelf, and your children are going to become empowered through the words of wisdom. And here's the best part. It's under the guise of entertainment. So even though they're receiving valuable pieces of information, they're learning without feeling as if they are. And I get it, man, because kids, they don't like to be lectured. Nobody likes to be lectured. Nobody likes to just, well, I guess I can't say no one. I don't want to blanket the statement there. But the majority of people, they don't like that, right? So if you do it in a way where they're able to recognize themselves within other fictional characters, there is an ease that is brought to it. It's more valuable and I guess just a more profound way to learn such a great message. At least it is for me. I know it is for my children. And I know a lot of you out there are like, Benji, you're preaching to the choir, brother, because my children are the same way. And if you feel that way, you got to head on over and pick up copies of these amazing books. Deborah Sullivan is a name to be remembered. You know where to go. Deborah, this has been a true pleasure. Honestly, man, an absolute delight. Thank you once again for writing these amazing books, for the wisdom that they're going to be able to provide, but most importantly, for being here with us to discuss it all through people of distinction.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure for me too, and I thank you for having me.